Islam is the only religion that has emphasizes on the importance of keeping in touch with relatives and having good relationship with them. Even so, it is sad to see some Muslims not upholding the ties of kinship, as people have started to move away from the traditional extended family lifestyle, leading to breakdown of big family structures and mass migration of Muslims from villages to cities to different countries. We have lost touch with our relatives and our kin, and so have cut our ties of kinship. Some of us do not even know the names of the near relatives or how they are related or even heard of them. Generations have gone and new ones are born, but we are not even aware of this. How many of our parents, brothers and sisters do we know very well? What about their children? What about our grandparents and their relatives? Do we know them? Ties of kinship is not referring simply to immediate family members and a few uncles and aunties whom we may be usually speaking to, but anybody that's part of our family tree is considered a kith and kin that we must keep in touch with. Remember this powerful hadith in which Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said the word Aram, womb, derives its name from Ar-Rahman, one of the names of Allah. And Allah Almighty said, I will keep good relation with the one who will keep good relation with you, womb, and sever the relation with him who will sever the relation with you, womb. Sahih Bukhari. In this age of online social networking, we meet and keep in touch with so many strangers. Why not relatives? So this Ramadan, let us reconnect our ties of kinship and overcome the barriers that stop us from doing so. Every family has some issues with some of the relatives, but this should not stop us from communicating with them. Know that when we are tying the ties of kinship, we are, in fact, doing it for Allah Almighty, and as per the hadith mentioned before, we are thus doing it to keep good relation with Allah Almighty as well. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, Al-Wasil is not the one who recompenses the good done to him by his relatives, but Al-Wasil is the one who keeps good relations with those relatives who had severed the bond of kinship with him. Sahih Bukhari. Let us see how we can reconnect and experience the great virtue of tying kinship in our lives. 1. Find out who our relatives are. This will be very interesting and exciting. Have a sit with parents or other relatives with whom you have regular contact and get a general structure of the family tree. I say this is interesting from personal experience. Some may even be in your own workplace, or even married to someone whom you know. And even more exciting, your best friend may even be related to you. 2. Find out the phone number, an email, social network, or WhatsApp ID, Skype or Twitter. Trust me, you'll be surprised. Get all your relatives' contact details, keep a record. Add them to your online friends list. 3. Now we have passed the starting stage and can collect reward for our intentions, although we have not yet contacted the relatives. If you find some relatives online, this is a very good opportunity to strike up a conversation and bond straight away, because it is easier to do this online rather than face to face. They will be pleasantly surprised to hear from you. Who doesn't like to meet someone online they actually relate to? If they're not online, you can send text messages to break the ice gradually, or even call them after texting them a few times. You can be creative and think of other ways to break the ice. For example, you can send something or invite them to an event, hold a get-together party. The best thing in a reunion party is that other relatives who have not seen each other for years get a chance to meet, and all because of you. Again, you get the reward of uniting other people too. 4. Meet the older members of the family, such as grandparents or granduncles. They always have so many stories to tell of the past generations, besides sharing their wisdom, experiences, life lessons, etc. It can be so interesting for both sides. 5. If the relatives are in the same city, invite them over for iftar. If there are any feuds or issues with the family, nothing can resolve it as food can. Old issues will be forgotten or even sometimes laughed away. This gathering can also give an opportunity to clear the air and create strong bonds, especially when reminiscing of old days. 6. To keep in touch regularly, find ways to be connected. For example, you can keep a day in the week to make video calls or write emails or chat online. Next time you visit the family village, take with you one of the latest laptops or smartphones with camera and set up Skype, WhatsApp or other such chat systems. Train the folks on how to make calls or use the camera. Younger ones can assist the older ones to arrange a meet online. They will so much appreciate the connection. Once they get used to talking online, forget long-distance calls. WhatsApp would be the next thing in that village. 7. Sadly, we have forgotten about spending charity or zakat on poor relatives and family members. Maybe it's because of embarrassment of what will the relatives think, or maybe afraid that they may rely on us for their needs, or it could be just laziness and we could not bother with the hassles. The availability of charity organizations are also making it easier for us to just send money to them and get it out of way. No more guilt of not having paid charity. Spending money in this way is all well and good, but how much more satisfying to send personally to poor relatives. Whatever the reason for not spending on relatives is, we have no excuse, especially when we have clear instructions from Allah Almighty that our charities, zakat, should be to our relatives as well as the poor and needy in other parts of the world. In fact, scholars emphasize that we should prioritize our charities, zakat, so it goes to those closest to us first, then to the other Muslim community. 8. After having connected various relatives to yourself and to each other, it's a nice feeling to know that you were the missing link, so to speak. You can now arrange fun things like family trips, traveling to see members of the clan, arranging holidays elsewhere together, planning Hajj or Umrah for relatives and going together, arranging family fundraising event for Islamic projects. How very rewarding and fun. 9. Once a bond is created, it will be easier to talk about old issues. These issues may not even seem important anymore. Seek ways of resolving any problems gently and gradually so that no new friction will arise from old ones. Try to do it this Ramadan. People will be happy to forgive during Ramadan and hopefully restart their relationships once again on the basis of love and mercy, inshallah. 10. Again, personally speaking, these new connections can be spiritually uplifting. Knowing some relatives are in need and helping them will be very rewarding, and in the same way, knowing some relatives are well off and can help you when you are in need. After all, that is what family is all about, being there for each other. So it's not only good those take the initiative to connect, but for all who are involved. So let's embark on this unique and fulfilling journey this Ramadan, and let's not shaitan nor our busy lifestyles take away this virtue from us. There's so much benefit from keeping ties of kinship. It's enough that Allah Almighty has promised to keep good relations with those who keep good relations with their family members.
O Allah, wake us from the sleep of negligence. Grant us an increase in awareness of you before it is too late. Bless us with the ability to take advantage of our time in what benefits us for our appointed time, and forgive us, our parents, and all Muslims by your mercy, for you are the most merciful of the merciful. And may the prayers and peace of Allah be upon our Prophet Muhammad and upon his family and companions.